Thank you for joining us at this grand opening of Lorena Plaza. I'm Alan Freeman. I'm the board chair of a community of friends, also known as ACOF. And I don't know, sometimes I'm at a loss for words, but I am thrilled to be here today to welcome you to this grand opening of Lorena Plaza. Isn't this exciting? I mean, this is incredible. And for those of you who have been at our side supporting this project, you'll agree it's been quite a journey, and you'll hear more during the program. But before we begin, I'd like to first recognize the land that this building is located on, and I invite Holly Rockwell, who's a Senior Executive Officer of Transit-Oriented Communities and Real Estate at LA Metro, to come up to the podium for the land acknowledgement.
Good morning. The County of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority recognize that we occupy land originally and still inhabited and cared for by the Tongva, Tataviam, Serrano, Kizh, and Chumash peoples. We honor and pay respect to their elders and descendants, past, present, and emerging, as they continue their stewardship of this land and water. We acknowledge that settler colonization resulted in land seizure, disease, subjugation, slavery, relocation, broken promises, genocide, and multi-generational trauma. This acknowledgement demonstrates our responsibility and commitment to truth, healing, and reconciliation, and to elevating the stories, culture, and community of the original inhabitants of the County of Los Angeles. We are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these ancestral lands. We are dedicated to growing and sustaining relationships with Native peoples and local tribal governments, including, in no particular order, the Fernandino Tataviam Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrielino Tongva Indians of California Tribal Council, the Gabrielino Tongva San Gabriel Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrielino Band of Mission Indians, Kizh Nation, the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, and the San Fernando Band of Mission Indians. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Today, we celebrate the grand opening of Lorena Plaza, a project that is near and dear to the hearts of our staff and our board. And I see some of my fellow board members who are here today. I'd like to recognize them. Norma Dominguez. Norma's over there. Phil Feeder. Liz Garcia, are you here in the back? Beth Garfield. Mitch Minzer. Is Mitch here yet? Big thanks to our board, and all of us at a community of friends have been waiting for this day for a very long time. First, we want to thank Metro, because this is an amazing example of transit-oriented development. And it's not easy doing TOD, right? It is a buzzword in planning, and it makes sense. It is a good use for this land, but it is not easy, and we were talking about that earlier. But Metro has been a fantastic partner with a community of friends in the development of these 49 affordable and supportive housing units. And we also have 7,500 square feet of commercial space, which is new for ACOF, that's on the other side of the building, which is really outstanding, which will be great community-serving retail. And I think that many of you here know us, you know a community of friends, you know about this project. ACOF is a nonprofit organization that has a very specific mission to end homelessness for people impacted by mental illness. And in the past 37 years, it's incredible, 37 years, ACOF has completed over 50 apartment communities that is now called permanent supportive housing. Yep, 50. Although when we started, there was no such term for what we were actually building. It was just an affordable apartment that was not time limited, where people had a lease, and where services were provided on site for people that struggled with mental health challenges. Now we call this work permanent supportive housing, and ACOF has been a leader in this area since, advancing this evidence-based solution to ending long-term homelessness. But this work is not easy, and not just in providing the services that are really critical to making supportive housing work, but also in the management of a building, which, as you can see here in Lorena Plaza, this is a beautiful building. This courtyard is amazing, a playground, really fantastic. Love the design. So excited about this project. Now, it might sound incredible, but it actually took us 18 years to get to this day, to the grand opening for 49 units here at Lorena Plaza. 18 years. I had to check with Dora because I was like, that's got to be a typo. Now, you might be wondering why we stuck it out so long when ACOF could have moved to another project or another community. But I think our board and our staff, we realized that it was critical to persevere and to make Lorena Plaza an example of what can be done when we come together to fight homelessness. Dora may touch on this on her remarks as well, but thanks to this project, actually, thanks to Lorena Plaza, some of those regulatory and entitlement barriers to this type of housing, barriers that we encountered on this project, have been since reformed and streamlined. And today, thanks to Lorena Plaza and the hard work of everybody here, I am confident it will never again take 18 years to develop permanent supportive housing in the city of Los Angeles. And that is truly an accomplishment to celebrate. And I don't know if Mitch is here, but our board member, Mitch Menzer, Mitch brings a ton of land use expertise, and he just dedicated an incredible amount of time to supporting Dora and our team throughout this project. So special thanks to Mitch Menzer. But ACOF's board, we care deeply about homelessness and people impacted by mental illness. Almost 70% of our board have the lived experience of families and friends impacted by mental health, disabilities, or homelessness. So we know that our work at a community of friends is not just about building affordable homes, but it's also providing those critically important wraparound services that's needed to help our tenants stay stable in housing. So once again, I'm thrilled to be with you here today to celebrate this grand opening. Thank you all for attending and for your support for ACOF during this journey. I'd like to now introduce our amazing CEO, Dora Leon Gallo, who will be your MC for today's celebration. Dora.
Thank you, Alan. You know, I can't believe that after all these years, we're finally standing here before you at the dedication of Lorena Plaza. I have to say thank you, Mihir Rizdan. Thank you, Anna Kabara. Thank you, both Jack Wickershams, Jason Chavez, Craig Lawson, Ed Casey, Maria Joyce. These were all really critical people to get us to where we are today. And the portrait and practice teams, and thank you, Metro, for sticking by us all these years. And I'm excited that so many of our elected representatives are here today to celebrate with us. And we have Congressman Jimmy Gomez, who will join us shortly. We have Mayor Karen Bass. We have LA County Supervisor Hilda Solis. We have our newly elected Councilmember Ysabel Jurado, and also Metro's CEO, Stephanie Wiggins. You'll hear from all of them in a few minutes. And for now, I just want to stand here and bask in the glory of a completed building, and to express my gratitude for everyone here who played such a role. And you will see in the program, we did our best to identify every single person who played a role in this project. There were hundreds of names in an attachment for those who helped us get where we are today. You know, our appreciation is expressed in two documents. One is a group of people that helped us get into construction, including 49 nonprofit organizations that wrote letters and showed up at city council hearings to support us to get this project approved. And the second document also talks about the group of people who helped us overcome hurdles that occurred during construction, including many members of the mayor's staff and many city departments. In particular, we want to acknowledge Sean Hargis with Building and Safety, and Jason Baroda with Building and Safety, and Armin Nashad, who was with the mayor's office and had left, but was such critical supporters of ours as we went through the city process to build the building. So what happened? Why did this 49-unit project take so long? Lorena Plaza encountered many, many challenges. We were selected by Metro in 2007 to build this project on this site. We were the first supportive housing project selected by Metro as part of the joint development program. But then in 2008, the Great Recession hit. And then we had initial community opposition, which resulted in, a few years later, a 15-to-1 vote of support for the project amongst the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council. It took us a little bit, but we got the support. And then we faced an extremely lengthy delay in project and environmental approvals, and I'm just going to stop there. Then we had a secret lawsuit, which we won, and then that was appealed, and all of that was based on discriminatory intent about who was going to live here. And after we cleared all that, we had to re-abandon an old oil well from 1947 that never drew any oil, but we wanted to recap it to current standards, and it had a lot of challenges. And then we had the major rains that flooded our site multiple times as we were digging, not to mention switchgear delays, and then we had unexpected site conditions like the duck banks, which Metro knows about. And then we even had a truck hit a fire hydrant and flooded the site during construction. So a lot of things happened. But we are here today, and not a minute too soon. Because in this moment of so much uncertainty in our work to end homelessness, both at the local level and at the national level, it feels so right and so good to be able to celebrate and to welcome 48 households, which is going to equal close to 130 adults and children in this building. New homes that are clean, safe, and affordable, and connected to services. Lorena Plaza will give people who've experienced homelessness or are struggling in this economy the opportunity to start over and to achieve stability in their lives. And at a community of friends, we know from years of experience that people experiencing homelessness can, with an affordable home and wraparound services, regain the skills needed to live independent lives. And so now, I am very happy to begin a program by introducing first the Honorable Hilda Solis, LA County Supervisor for the 1st District. Supervisor Solis was first elected to the LA Board of Supervisors in 2014 and serves on the board of Metro. And right from the very beginning, she was a strong supporter of our project. And when controversy erupted, she said, "What?" And every time I saw her, even if she didn't know my name, she does now, but even in the beginning, she would recognize me immediately and said, "How is our project?" So that really boiled our spirits, and I want to thank Hilda Solis and welcome her to make remarks.
Well, Dora, I'm good at remembering faces. Names, it's a little harder, challenging. We meet so many people, but we know those who are well-intended. And Dora, thank you for that introduction. And it is a pleasure to be aside by you in this effort to really champion housing for homeless people. And I know your dedication, and I'm so proud of ACOF and the board and everybody who's been engaged in this. This has been a labor of love, and I really just want to thank everybody for being a part of this. The banking institutions, the tax credits that were received by the state and the county, and obviously the city of Los Angeles, and of course Metro. And I just have to tell you, it really does, hate to say this over and over, but it does take a village and strong people that really believe in what this is all about. 18 years, oh my God, there could have been grandchildren. But this place is very, very special. And I think people don't often think about that. This community is so full of history. It was a part of the original Spanish land grant that was established by the city of Los Angeles back in 1781. Boyle Heights was one of the first neighborhoods to develop outside of downtown Los Angeles. And Boyle Heights residents have bound together to withstand cultural displacement for over 2 centuries. So people here are used to fighting and standing up and being heard. And today, we're happy and pleased that 48 affordable housing units, and 32 of those will be secured for individuals and families experiencing homelessness, and to help ensure that other folks and family members can thrive here in this community. It is a beautiful setting for all of us, and I can't wait to see more and more of this happening. And I'm really delighted that you were able to shake up City Hall. so that you made some reforms with regulations, and I know the mayor knows that, because the last time we were here, we talked about it, and it feels like it was just yesterday. But it was so important for us to all come together and lift up all the departments, all the sources of energy that help to build out homelessness, because that isn't going to go away. The 75,000 people on a given night that are homeless, it's not lost on any of us, and especially for you, Dora and your team and everybody that made this possible. I can go on, but I won't, because there's a lot of speakers and there's so much to say, but this is one of those sacred places to be at right now, and I just want to say that the new tenants here, congratulations to you, Brian, and I hope that, and I know everything will go well. Our County Department of Mental Health is also engaged here to provide wraparound services, but as a part of LA County Board of Supervisors, we're here to support you and work with our partners to see that things move ahead productively. So I want to thank you. I have a scroll I want to present. Yeah, this is, and we will bring the board up, right? A community of friends, una comunidad de amigos, nuestros amigos. So Dora, there you go. And to your board, everybody, we're just so excited. Okay. Thank you, Lorena. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah. We're really, really excited.
Thank you, Supervisor. I'm looking to see how many people have scrolls, because it's going to take a while. Our next speaker is someone I met many, many years ago. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Many years ago, before either one of us held our current positions. Mayor Karen Bass, I believe, is a pragmatic leader who knows how to get things done. She's been a strong supporter and champion of supportive housing as an evidence-based practice to ending homelessness, and she's laser-focused on removing roadblocks to affordable housing development. And in fact, she signed in her first week of office Executive Director of One on the grounds of Lorena Plaza as we were in construction, right after the heavy rains flooded our sites, actually. So, Mayor Bass, welcome back again, and thank you for your support.
Good morning, everyone. I just have to say that this day has to be one of the best days of my administration, because I remember being here 2 years and a few months ago, and I was shocked then to learn that it took, at that point, 16 years, and you weren't even able to break ground, and it was because of the red tape. And so to stand here and to take action, and then to be here now and see this, I don't think I ever saw the plans, so I had no idea how big and beautiful it would be. But I just have to say something about the two women that spoke before me, because Supervisor, you have done so much. Hilda Solis's village, not too far from here, she knows I bring everybody that comes into town on the federal, on the state level, to show them the work that you have done, and you did it in the matter of months. And Dora, we have known each other for many, many years. I'm proud to say that, because it's been more than 2 decades. And before you were ever even involved in housing, you know, and I see Ann Sewell over there. Raise your hand, former director of LA Housing Department, who all played, that's right, give her a round of applause, and these two ladies, because the three of you have done such amazing work, and you give all of us hope to know that although LA has a reputation for being a very difficult place to build, you can actually do it if you work together. So city departments can cut through red tape and accelerate inspection and review timelines to move this project and other projects forward to completion. More units of affordable housing are being accelerated through this pathway, helping to make sure that Angelenos remain housed and don't fall back into homelessness. And I believe very strongly that supportive services is absolutely key to making sure that people maintain their housing. And so that also means that Angelenos, including a number of units for veterans who served our country, will be moving into their new homes and onto a pathway to stability months and even years faster than what the status quo had allowed for over the years, delays, barriers, and frustration, which is why we have to be laser focused on results, such as over the last couple of years, a 10% decrease in street homelessness. In 2024, we nearly doubled the amount of unhoused Angelenos into permanent housing. So this project brings much needed housing to the city, but it also helps improve our connections to the metro system. And we have our leader of Metro, Stephanie Wiggins, who has always been committed. In the time that I served on the board, not only have you been committed to transit-oriented housing, but you've also been committed to dealing with the unhoused population that are on our metro system, not in a punitive way, not in getting them arrested, but in providing ambassadors who provide support and connection to social services. There is one individual that is not here today, Jackie DuPont Walker. She couldn't make it in person, but she has also been a very, very strong advocate on housing and getting people the services that they need. And it's great to see my former congressional colleague, Jimmy Gomez, who I know is fighting the good fight in Washington, D.C., and we need him to do that because we don't want Washington, D.C. to inhibit our ability to continue to move forward. So I just want to congratulate everybody that has been involved in this project, and most especially the individuals who have already moved in or will be moving in. We need more and more great days like this in Los Angeles. Thank you.
Yes. Jackie DuPont Walker actually called me yesterday to express her regrets for not being able to come. So our next speaker is LA Councilmember Ysabel Jurado, representing the 14th District, which is where Boyle Heights is located. Lorena Plaza is located in Boyle Heights. She was sworn into office just last December. And while we've just met, I do know that affordable housing and endless homelessness are two of her top priorities. I welcome her attendance today and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. It's kind of a gift to be here. I think some of you may have seen it. One of the families that was up there, a mother, a daughter, and a baby with their little Minnie Mouse looking down below and getting to have a second chance. And that's why I ran to be a council member, and a lot of the people that have been up here speaking do the work that we do. And so I'm so happy to be here to celebrate the creation of more housing in our district. Lorena Plaza has been a long time coming, and what a joy it is to celebrate these 40 some odd units of housing. I'm grateful for the tireless dedication of a community of friends and everyone involved to make this project a reality. The dual housing and homelessness crisis we are experiencing necessitates collaboration across sectors, and that's exactly what happened here at Lorena Plaza. The county, including Supervisor Solis, the city, including Mayor Bass, and the Los Angeles Housing Department, Metro, we just met yesterday, and we have a lot of work to do. And all the service providers have all come together to ensure that the residents of these units have the support that they need to thrive. The City of Los Angeles did their part by contributing nearly $3 million in HHH funds, an important investment in the physical, social, and emotional well-being of the residents who will get to call this building home. Because that's what home is. Beyond a physical space that serves as a place to live and rest, a home is an anchor. It's the place folks can go and feel centered after experiencing a tough day, a source of comfort and warmth, and it's where many cherished moments take place. And so, I'm thrilled for the residents of Lorena Plaza to experience all this community has to offer. It's a pretty darn good community here in Boyle Heights, one steeped in resilience, and I think community of friends, and this building is a testament to that. Despite the hurdles, here it stands, as many of the residents do. So I look forward to celebrating many more milestones like this, and felicidades. Thank you. Oh, you got it. I'm still new. I have come to present you with a certificate from the City of Los Angeles. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Congressman Jimmy Gomez, who represents the 34th Congressional District, which includes Boyle Heights. Representative Gomez is a strong supporter of renters and affordable housing, and in fact, he founded and chairs the Congressional Renters Caucus. And although I have communicated with his staff on multiple occasions, by chance, I was on the same flight home with him from Washington, D.C. just a couple of weeks ago. He was in line in the jetway in front of me, and I looked at him and I invited him to this event. And so, voila, he's here. So, Congressmember, please join me on the stage.
Good morning. You only had to fly once in 2 weeks. I just got back last night once again. But first, let me just thank all your leadership on this project, a community of friends, everything that you're doing. I'm not only the chair of the Renters Caucus because it's the #1 priority, but I'm also the chair of the Dad's Caucus. And I can tell you that playground is Dad Caucus approved. And my son Hodge would love it. He's only 2.5. But 18 years, that is perseverance. Perseverance. It is amazing that you kept at it, that you worked with different levels of government. You brought in different revenue sources to be able to make this possible. And you didn't give up. And you built a project that really is about not only for the community, but it's also by the community because you took in that impact. And I want to say that we want to be here to support you from everything from fighting at the federal level to get the low-income housing tax credit expanded, but also to make sure that I keep bringing down community funding grants. One of the things I've done is brought home different amounts of money, but almost to build or improve over 1,000 new units of housing in the 34th district. You know what? I'm proud of that, but not enough. This is a national crisis that needs to be tackled like a national crisis, not only for people who are living on the streets, but people who want to buy their own home. We got to think bigger, and I know that the mayor and Hilda Solis and Metro are thinking bigger. So I want to keep applauding all that, but we need to have a building boom that we haven't seen since World War II when the troops were coming home and they needed to be housed. That's the kind of priority that we need, the urgency that we need. And when we do that, all our communities are going to thrive. And I think that LA can help send that message. But we need to think bigger, because a lot of stuff that we've done at the federal level has been too slow, too small, and too expensive. We got to speed things up. So Karen, I was going to call her Karen, but Mayor Bass's direction to cut that red tape is critical. But we're going to do that, but we need to invest more. The low-income housing tax credit, we're fighting to add 800,000 units of new housing over 10 years. 80,000 a year, too small. Too small, too slow. We need about 1 million new units of housing across the country a year for the next 10 years. And you're going to help us get there with every little thing. There's a thing in organizing called the long tail, and it basically is like, everybody that's building the building, few organizers here, few organizers here. You take the smaller end of the tail and you put it on its head. It makes just as much of a difference as all those massive projects. So these community projects are going to really help transform not only Los Angeles, Boyle Heights, but our country. So, we don't have a big budget like the county and the city when it comes to certs, but I want to let you provide your. This one fits easier on the wall. Yes. So, congratulations.
Lorena Plaza, as you all heard, is built on land that's owned by Metro, and it's been ground leased to a Community of Friends limited partnership. So it goes without saying how important our partnership is and the relationship is between us and Metro. So I'm pleased to introduce you to our next speaker, Metro CEO Stephanie Wiggins.
Good morning. I am also very excited to be here in Boyle Heights celebrating the completion and the opening of Lorena Plaza. Today, Metro continues advancing our goal to deliver 5,000 affordable income-restricted housing units in neighborhoods across LA County by 2031. Now, housing and transportation are the two largest expenses for most households. So building affordable, transit-connected housing on Metro-owned land, it just makes sense. And this apartment complex sits at a great location for Metro riders. It's close to the E line, the Indiana station, and bus line 106. So just think of the families and seniors who will be able to quickly and easily step out of their apartment door and go Metro to the grocery store, doctor's appointments, work, and school. Projects like these, well, they make a difference, and we're going to do a lot more of this over the next few years. I heard your call, Congressman. Now, through our joint development program, Metro has a goal of developing 10,000 homes by 2031, and we're over halfway there. This 10,000 goal started when Supervisor Solis was the chair of the Metro Board. Thank you for your vision, wanting to actually hold us accountable, and actually, this project has not only been a symbol of legacy of what red tape can mean for a project, but it also helped Metro look internally about what we could do to help speed up the development of these types of transformative community projects. Now, as I said earlier, of our 10,000 goal, 5,000 of them are to be affordable. And with this event today, we're halfway there to our goal. But we can't do it by ourselves, and I do also want to acknowledge all of our allies in this project. You've heard it from all the speakers, but again, Dora, a community of friends, a leading developer of permanent supportive housing. We are so grateful for their partnership. 18 years is a very long time. Perseverance is real, and they stayed with us, and they actually helped educate Metro along the way. What does it mean to engage community? What does it mean to really look at our processes for what's meaningful versus what's unnecessary red tape? And of course, what does it mean to work with our federal partners? Because we had to work with the federal government to get their concurrence that we could use this property for joint development. So I want to thank you for being a leader for us, and know that you forever changed Metro and how we perceive joint development. I also want to thank Mayor Bass. 2 years ago, as you said, with your Executive Directive 1, it just infused more energy into our team to look for other ways that we could speed up this type of housing. Thank you for your leadership. And then, newest council member, where'd she go? Oh, she's gone. Councilmember Jurado. It was a pleasure meeting her yesterday and really talking about how we can lift up Boyle Heights and all of her district in ways to advance quality housing, a dignified experience for Metro riders and her constituents. Again, I also want to thank my village, the Metro family, who've been with this project over the 2 decades almost, under Ray Sosa's leadership and the Chief of Planning, and of course, Holly Rockwell, our Senior Executive Officer. Thank you, Holly, for your leadership on this project. I also want to recognize our project manager, Nicole Avicia, Wells Lawson, Greg Angelo, Mildred Perez, our community relations support, Matthew Marquez, Matthew's here, Karen Swift, and our construction management that worked with ACOF, John Jaramillo, Mallory Lewis, Alyssa Camacho, Anna Walker, James Russos. Together, working together, we can advance our ambitious goals, we can house Angelitos, and we commit that we will continue to think big and go Metro.
So This project had a number of funders. In your program, on the left side, you will see the list of funders who helped us through the pre-development process as well as through construction. But the biggest contributor to this project is Bank of America. Bank of America provided both a construction loan and is providing the tax credit equity for Lorena Plaza. Developing supportive housing is definitely a public, private, and community partnership. Bank of America has been a long-term partner of a Community Friends, even long before I joined the organization. And representing the bank today is Garrett Jin, Senior Vice President.
Good morning, everyone. I'm eighth in the lineup, so I will be brief. But with the Dodgers, that's Kike, so that's pretty good. But I just want to congratulate Dora, the entire board, for this great accomplishment. The mayor, the supervisor, they've been talking about resilience so much in these last couple of months, and I think it's embodied in this project. So while this is a handful of units in LA, city and county needs to build much, much more, hopefully this project will really inspire others about the value of persistence, the value of resiliency, and as Dora said, the value of these public-private partnerships. We came to the table, as everyone else who's spoken, with something to offer. And in our case, it's capital, but it's also capital with a purpose. And so I want to thank our community development team. Cindy Spivak, who heads the West Region, is here. Daniel Rodriguez, who's the relationship manager on this project. They add not just knowledge of banking, but they have a passion for this work. They are lifers in the banking world. And so we're really thrilled to be a part of this. It's transformational. We've heard the stories, we've seen the photos of the groundbreaking, but to actually be here and be able to hear from Brian, and who represents so many changed lives through this project, we're just really thankful to be a part of this project, and continued success to everyone involved here. Thank you.
Garrett just ruined my surprise. So I do have a special surprise. We have another speaker. So Lorena Plaza just finished construction very recently, and we're actually in the process of moving people home. And there's only been, I think, 2 tenants who've moved in. And one of them has agreed to speak today. And he actually moved in like 2 days ago. And so please join me in giving a warm welcome to Brian Wape.
All right. I am happy to be at Lorena Plaza because I'm trying to be more stable in life and get myself together and situated so that I can focus on getting a job before applying to college. Having stable housing will help me stay out of trouble by giving me my own space to escape to and work on myself. I want to apply construction work or a local target to build savings and steadily pay my own bills, which living in affordable housing will allow me to pursue by giving me a stable address and supportive case management services. The plaza's proximity to public transit will also help me seek employment opportunities in the broader community. Being at Lorena Plaza will help reduce life stress, improve my mental health by providing stability and security. I will be more prepared to work on my mental and physical health. I can plan for my future with a roof over my head that represents hope, stability, and the chance to rebuild my life with better health, education, and employment opportunities. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. So that is it for our official program. And as we wrap it up, I do want to recognize our other funders. As I mentioned, please do look at the program where not only do we list the funders, but there's an insert of several hundred names of people who worked on the project over the span of 18 years. We did our best, and if we have forgotten you, we're really sorry, and we can add you to it later, but you will see city departments, community individuals. A few of them are here. I want to recognize at the groundbreaking, we had Tony Zapata speak. He's with Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I want to thank him for coming back out today, so thank you, Tony. We also want to recognize the other funders. We have Annabelle Cuevas from the Federal Home Loan Bank of San Francisco. I don't know if she is here. There she is. Thank you so much. Alejandra Bravo and Monica Laurent from the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles is here. And there's, I think Tim Elliott from the Housing Department is also here. And LA County Department of Health provided resources. The state provided an infill infrastructure grant. And we even had a foundation, philanthropy, put in some funds to help us with furniture, the Rose Hills Foundation. And all of the funders, from pre-development to construction to permanent financing, are listed in your program. I want to thank our board of directors for believing in the project and encouraging and supporting staff's effort every single step of the way. It was very easy for them to say, stop, there's too much money invested. We have to protect our resources, but they didn't do that. They wanted to fight. And Mitch Menzer in particular, I don't know if he's arrived yet, played an incredible role with our legal team, so I want to thank him. Anna Kabara and Mihai Risden, as soon as we cleared all the hurdles, we had to go fast into financing, into construction, and they did it. Their dedication and perseverance matched the board's and my own. You know, another word that I think people have used on them was relentless, of which I am very appreciative because we are here where we are today because of their work. And certainly the construction team of Portrait, Excalibur, Rue, AMJ Construction and Practice. You know, I know we pushed and pushed and pushed, but thank you for understanding how important this project was for us and to the community and for being here today. And lastly, the ACOF team that helped put this event together with Metro, especially our development and communications assistant, Danny Varela, is somewhere, and my assistant, Lexi Ramirez, and of course the Metro team, who Stephanie had already communicated, played a big role in planning this event. And so now let's do a ribbon cutting.